Good morning, Laura Schreiber, professional voice actor here. So recently I had to make myself a new effect stack on Twisted Wave, and I thought, well, it took me a little while to figure this out, and I thought perhaps some other people are in the same boat. So I wanted to take a minute to show you how I did it. So first, here's a long recording of a bunch of auditions that I did, and I record them just as I might do an e-learning module. I record, I edit, I mark the different files, and then I'm going to split them, right? So I normalize, and then I normally would add my effects stack, except I have a new preamp, an Avalon M5, and the preamp has a built-in high pass. So because the effects stack that I was working with also had a high pass, I had gotten feedback from a sound engineer that I work with a lot that I had too much high pass and it was taking out some of the richness of my recording. And he suggested that I take the high pass out of my effects stack, which is why I need a new effects stack. So I'll pull up my current effects stack, right? Let's open the effects stack here, 2018. So I want to see what I have in my effects stack. It has AU high pass, dynamic processor, all of this stuff. Okay, great. So you can open each individual element and click edit so that you see what you're working with. And let's space them out. It would be helpful if they would stay open, right? So that you can see what you have. And then once you open these, you can leave them there, right? So I'm going to take this one out because I wouldn't normally put that in. Okay, so let's say I want to create a new one. So let's go to Effect Stacks, and we click New Effect Stack. So this is going to let you create a new one. So I had a dynamic processor. So the whole point of this is that I'm doing it without a high pass. So I go here and I create Effect Stack. And I go to Apple and I pick dynamic processor. It really is this simple. And I open the processor and I want to make sure it's the same setup as this one in case I've tweaked any of the settings. So let's open this and see where it's set. Look, it's the exact same settings. I hadn't made any adjustments, so that's fine. Now I want to add the End Band Equalizer. So click Add Effect again, go to Apple, find End Band Processor. I have to scroll down. Multi-band processor. End Band EQ. That's not it. There we go. And then I have to find the AU peak limiter. Okay, so now I can close these out and get rid of them. And the last thing I need to add is the AU peak limiter. So again, I'm going to go to Apple. It really is this simple. And I want to add the AU peak limiter. Okay, let's edit it and make sure it's set the same as this AU peak limiter. Edit. Okay, and look, it's set the same as the standard settings, so I can go ahead and close that out. Now, the last bit of feedback that I got is that I was having a sibilance issue. So you can handle the sibilance issue two ways. You can stand tangentially so that your mouth isn't dead on to the pop filter, or I can add the Waves D-esser, which I also have purchased. So you go down to Waves, you click D-esser, and you have to, there's like some tweaking involved in the settings, but you literally just click on the de-esser and add the de-esser. And so now that's part of the effects stack. And then you would go here and you want to save your effects stack. So if I want to add this, I would click Apply and Close. And now look, Stacks, Manage Stack, and then to click Save Stack, all you have to do is name this. So we could name it Test Stack. And you can even create a shortcut for the stack. So there, that's a test stack, and I can test it and see how I like it, apply and close, and now it's applying it to all of these auditions. There we go. So it's done. It's now been applied, and if I wanted to go ahead and create a shortcut, I can do that by going to edit keyboard shortcuts, and then whatever letter you want to assign, you could create it with T, you could create it with R, any letter that you aren't presently using, you could name. So I have one that I call G because George Whittam created it. I have one that I call L for Laura. Whatever letter that you want to use, you could use to create your effects stack. So is this an example of my explainer videos? No, but I just thought in case there's a voice actor out there who wants to learn how to create an effects stack, this might be useful to you. So I hope that this is helpful. I'm here if you have any questions, and I hope that you now know how to create an effects stack. The trick is knowing what you need in your effects stack, and sometimes you need a sound engineer to tell you that. But once you know what you need in your effects stack, it's literally about selecting it from the list, dropping it in, and most importantly, saving it. Because if you don't save it, it won't be there the next time. Um, Feel free to reach out to me at laura@lauraschreibervoice.com if you have any questions. I am not a sound engineer, but I figured out how to create an effects stack. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.